Focus on your why. You know that cliche saying, your why should make you cry, right? Your why should make you cry. But the question is, do you know your why? Do you know why you really wake up and do what you do? Or is it just out of obligation? Is it just out of routine? Is it just because that's how we pass through the day? It's just because this is what we've been programmed to do. This is the life that we've had for the past 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. So we're just kind of in the routine, in the motions. Or do we really know why we're doing this? Do you really know why you're sacrificing? Do you really know why you're jumping on these calls? Do you really know why you're personally developing? Do you really know why you're going through all the ups and downs of life? Do you really know why you're going through the adversities? Why God is building this capacity in you? Like, do you know why you're doing this stuff? This conversation is important. We've had it 100 times, but it's a reminder because I know many of you may not still know why you're doing what you're doing. You may not know your why behind why you want to get healthy or why you want to be financially free or any of the things. You might not know. And so you got to take some time to do that, y'all. This is how we eliminate the distractions. This is what Tom Brady was just talking about in there. Focus, right? I wrote down focus creates the life that you want. But your focus, the thing that knocks us off of that focus are the distractions of life, your family, your finances, your health, your friend's health, school, job, work, like all the things start to come to distract you. Social media is there to distract you. Netflix is there to distract you. Most things, entertainment is there to entertain you and distract you. So, what keeps you focused? What keeps you locked in? Knowing why you wake up, knowing why you're putting in all this work. Like, that's where your compelling vision comes in. That's what a why is. A why is your compelling vision. Do you have something that compels you to wake up, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how you feel that day, regardless of what you feel like doing and putting out into the world? Do you have something that constantly compels you to get things moving, to have a sense of urgency, to focus, follow one course until successful? That's the acronym for focus. Follow one course until successful. Do you have that focus? Do you have a system in place for when you start drifting, when you start getting distracted, when the world starts pulling you this way and the enemy comes and starts reminding you of these things? Do you have a way to get yourself back focused? If not, that's your work, ladies and gentlemen. That's your work. It's to figure out how to create a system for yourself so that you can stay focused on designing your ideal life, on designing the life that you don't need a break from. That's what we're doing this for. You're doing this for maybe legacy. You're doing this to design a life where you can breathe. So many people I sit down and talk with, they just want, life is so busy. They just need to catch their breath, right? Well, imagine having life exactly where you want it, where you can always catch your breath. Like you're not out of breath. You're not underwater. You're living life. You're handling what's coming, but you're just living life, right? If that's the place you want to get to, we got to figure out some of these things of how to focus. Talk about remember your purpose. We talk about that word purpose a lot. Just remember, purpose comes at the intersection of what you're good at, what you like doing, what the world needs, and what makes money. That's your purpose, right? It's an old Japanese proverb called ikigai. Ikigai says that at the intersection of what you like doing, what you're good at doing, what the world needs, and what makes money, the intersection of all those things is your purpose. That's why it's different for everybody, because what you're good at, I'm not good at. What you like doing, I don't like doing. What you see as a need in the world, I don't see as a need, right? So it could all be different. That's how we find it. But you got to remember, these are the things that start pulling you. These are the things that start becoming your compelling vision that cause you to wake up, get to work, do all the things that you know you should do. Uh, Never forget why you started something. Never forget why you started. It's so important. I'm in business all the time. People have big goals and dreams, and then they forget why they start because their immediate circumstances start to take over their entire life, and they forget why they started because they had a dream, because they had something they wanted to get to, because the pain of where they were was too great and they wanted to get to the next place. Sometimes we start forgetting about that. We start trading in what we want most for what we want now. That's why most people quit most things, is because they're trading in what they want most. What I want most is freedom. What I want now might be comfort. What I want now might be to take a breath. What I want now is some rest, right? Like those are things I might want right now, but what I want most is freedom. But I'm not going to give up on what I want most for just this temporary of what I want now. Most people do. You can't if you want to go off and design your ideal life. Be mindful of your thoughts. You guys know we talk about this all the time. If you change your thinking, you change your life. What thoughts are you allowing into your mind? Remember, your thoughts are not you. You can capture your thought. You can take all thoughts into captivity, which means they are apart from you. So just because you have a thought doesn't mean that thought is true, doesn't mean that it's fact, doesn't mean that it's right, doesn't mean that you should have it. So you have to learn how to keep in control your mind, your thoughts, and throw those things away that don't serve you. Easier said than done, I know, but this is practice, y'all. You can hear this one time and be like, okay, got it. And now you need to spend the rest of your life practicing how to capture your thoughts, how to not allow negative thought to come in that spirals you, takes you down a thought pattern that you don't want to be in, but it's very familiar to you. And then you can change, right? Like you have to practice this stuff, y'all. It's practice. I don't expect you to get it right away, but I expect if you do want to get to the life you don't need a break from, you want to get to that ideal life, you gotta master this stuff. You got to get good at you. So again, be mindful of your thoughts. Your thoughts are the architect of your destiny. Whatever you are thinking, you will see. Whatever it happens up here, you'll see it in your reality. That's why if you want to change your reality, change what you're thinking up here. People try to do it the other way. They try to change what is around them, and therefore they think their thinking will change. It's the opposite. You change your thinking, and then what else is outside of you changes. So remember that. Last two things were self-discipline and visualize your successes. Self-discipline, we've had conversations about it, y'all. How disciplined are you? Again, discipline a lot of times comes from your vision. It comes from the focus of what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to make happen. Therefore, you have more disciplines, more self-discipline because it changes who you are, what you want, what your habits are, those things. That's what the why does. That's what having a vision does for you. It keeps you more disciplined. So if you're struggling with discipline, I'd start with your vision. I'd start with a why. I'd start with why you even want to do whatever it is you're trying to do, and then go do the thing, right? And lastly, visualize your success. How often are you taking time just to visualize what your life looks like? This ideal life that I keep talking to you about, this ideal life I keep telling you, hey, you want to go off and design your ideal life. How much do you actually visualize it? How much do you sit in it? How much do you meditate on it? How much can you see it in your mind's eye? If that's still a struggle for you, practice. Practice taking 10 minutes a day for yourself, 20 minutes a day, and visualizing the life that you're dreaming about. I used to have a mentor that used to say, go touch your dreams. If there are material things that you feel like is your ideal life and you still just want to have those things, go touch them. You believe having a Rolls Royce is like your dream. Go to the Rolls Royce dealership and sit in the car. Just go. They'll let you sit in it. They'll let you sit it and just smell it. Smell the leather. See what it's like. Touch it. Like sit in your dream. Feel it that you have something about a mansion or beach home or what, like go experience it for once and sit in your dream for a little bit. But you got to be able to visualize your success. You got to be able to visualize what it's going to be like when you've won, when you've done all the things, when you become the man or woman God called you to be. Like you gotta have that picture in your mind. Because if we can see it with our mind's eye, then we can have it. Don't be one of the people that say, I have to see it to believe it. No, no, no. We believe it first and then we see it. We believe this is the person we're going to be. We believe these are the things we're going to have. We believe this about our family. We believe this about our health. Like we believe those things and then we see them. It's not the other way around. And for all of us that are going after our ideal life, this is the way you have to operate. This is the way your mind has to operate. In our text, 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class. It says here the world class focuses on the why. Exactly what Tom Brady was just telling y'all earlier in the video. You want to be world class, you want to get all of your goals and dreams, you want to design this life you don't need a break from, you want your family to be proud of you, you want to be the hero of your family, whatever your things are, you have to focus and understand why you're doing this first and foremost. It's the only thing that gets you up. It's the only thing that pushes you through the hard times. You will have incredibly hard times. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday, and he was saying, right, he's in the mindset now that, adversity is always going to happen. There's always adversity. And I was like, hey, it's a good mindset to have. I tell people all the time, life doesn't get easier. We get stronger or not. It's your choice to get stronger. You can choose to get mentally stronger. You can choose to get emotionally stronger. You can choose to not. You can choose to sit on the couch. It's your choice. But the thing that's the constant is life will get harder. That's the constant. That's not debatable. Like we might wish life got easier. You might wish you had less problems or more but that's not the way it works. Like this thing gets progressively harder. You need more capacity to handle life as you get older. Health challenges, financial challenges, work challenges, planning, like all the stuff gets more and more. So if you can't handle it now, it's likely you're not going to be able to handle that life you don't need a break from. That's why we're practicing. That's why we're practicing. You're learning how to do these things. You got to focus on the why, though. Here's what it says in the text. It says, world-class thinkers know that when it comes to manifesting their ultimate visions, the real question that must be answered is not the how to, but the why. In other words, odds are that someone somewhere already knows how to do whatever the champion wants to do and can most likely be tapped as a mentor for assistance. The critical thinking question is, why do I want this vision to become a reality? That's the critical thinking question. Why do I want this vision to become a reality? When I ask someone, hey, what do you want out of, the next 5 years, the deeper question is, well, why do you want those things? Like, why do you want that vision? What do you think that's going to give you? What do you think that's going to bring in your life that you don't have currently? And so that's why asking that question, why, it's important. It says the intensity of emotion with which this question is answered will determine whether the dream comes alive or dies. If your house was burning down, would you risk your life to save the furniture? Probably not. But if your kids were trapped inside the house, would you risk your life trying to save them? Of course. The point is, we will do anything if the stakes are high enough, if we have a big enough reason why. Say that again. The point is, we will do anything. We will do anything if the stakes are high enough, if we have a big enough reason why. I want to settle there for a second because I want y'all to understand when you hear yourself or you hear other people give excuses as to why they can't do something or why they won't do something or what's happening, all you're hearing is the fact that their reason why is not big enough. Because if our why is big enough, if the stakes are high enough, you will do anything. You'll do anything. And that's the case. It says here, world-class thinkers know this, world-class thinkers know this and capitalize on it, while middle-class thinkers are scaling back their goals and dreams because they don't know how to accomplish them. World-class thinkers are soul searching for their emotional motivators. The salesperson who dreams of winning the company trip to Maui and being recognized on stage in front of his family and peers. The manager who envisions leading her team to record-breaking sales in order to prove herself that she is as good as she knew she was, even though her stepfather told her that she would never amount to anything. Champions know the secret to world-class motivation lies in emotion. The great ones decide what they want, and more importantly, why they want it. They know all benefits come down to an emotion that we are trying to create through our goals and dreams. So they invest a lot of mental energy attempting to identify what emotion they are really after. Once they discover it, they fight to make their vision a reality. Their vision a reality is over before it begins. Obstacles and setbacks are no match for a visionary driven by raw emotion. Ordinary people are transformed into extraordinary performers who no longer recognize failure as an option. The power of emotional motivation is unmistakable, yet only the champion invests time to tap into it. I'm encouraging all of you to tap into this emotional part, the emotion of why. It's an emotion. Back to that cheesy saying, if right, your why should make you cry. When you really get down to like why you are doing something, it should elicit an emotion out of you. It's an emotional thing. That's like, oh man, what would this feel like if this happened? That's why success in any area is what you determine it as, because it's whatever makes you emotional. Again, it's not about the $1 million. It's not about the mansion. It's about the man or woman you have to become in order to get those things and what that proves to you as a person. When we have this money conversation about building wealth and those things, it's really not about the dollar amount. It's about the person you have to become in order to achieve that. The feeling of growth, the feeling of right getting better, the feeling of fulfillment, of you becoming a higher, grander expression of yourself, of you being more tapped in and tuned into who you are, to what your strengths are, to what your weaknesses are, to have more capacity to handle what life throws your way, to be a backbone in your family or around right people that might need your help and support. Like the person you have to become in order to get to that place is the emotion. It's the thing that drives you. So if you haven't taken time to figure this stuff out, this is your work. This is your work. These mornings, this hour and a half a week I get with y'all is to plant the seed. It's to share the stuff with you. It's to remind you, hey, you probably should be focused on this if you want to get to your ideal life instead of focusing on all the crazy things happening in your life right now, like it's happening with all of us, right? Instead of all of that stuff that we focus on, because where our focus goes, our energy flows. Right. So if you're focused on your problems, your energies flow into your problems, your life becomes a bunch of problems. If you're focused on your why, if you're focused on the motivation, the emotion that you want to experience to get to your ideal life, to become the highest, grandest expression of yourself, to turn into the man or woman God called you to be able to unlearn and relearn new things, new thoughts that are now going to serve you, that no longer serves you, that is what develops you into the person you need to be in order to get to success, whatever that looks like for you. That's why I encourage you down this path. That's why I'm telling you, you've got to practice this stuff. So if you don't have your why down, if you don't know exactly why you're doing this stuff, you don't know why you started in business, you don't know why you're working at your job, you don't know why you're doing like you eat the way you eat, you don't know why you're emotional the way you're emotional, like you don't know about yourself. You need to take time every day, y'all, every day, 7 days a week, 10 to 30 minutes a day, just to sit with yourself. No distractions, no television, no people, nothing, no other sources, just you and your thoughts. Maybe take some time to journal if you like journaling. That's a way to get your thoughts out and sit with yourself for a little bit. Maybe you just need to sit and meditate. Maybe you just need to take a walk. Maybe you just need to listen to the birds. Maybe you just need to sit in your room. I'm not sure. But at some point, you've got to figure out why you're doing this, like what you really want and why you want it. And once you figure that out, you got to write it down and you got to read it to yourself and look at it all the time, every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Like if that's really why, if you know, find out what you want and you believe that's what you want and your why has made you emotional, it needs to be written down somewhere and you need to be reminding yourself of it every single day. Don't let a day go by without reading why you're doing this. This is a reminder. This is how you program yourself to focus. If some of you are lacking focus or lacking discipline or lacking motivation, right, or lacking into whatever it is, lock in by getting connected with yourself and then reading that to yourself over and over again. I'm talking for months, for years, right? Just instill it in your nervous system that this is why you're doing this. And if you do that, your life will change. The outcomes you're looking for will happen because you're programming yourself for success. You're programming yourself to do the things necessary to get you to the life that you deserve. That's it. But it's about focus. It says here in this quote, it says, send the harmony of a great desire vibrating through every fiber of your being. Find a task that will call forth your faith, your courage, your perseverance, and your spirit of sacrifice. Keep your hands and your soul clean, and your conquering current will flow freely. Y'all got to understand where your focus goes, your energy flows. The action step for today says make a commitment to clearly identify what's driving you to achieve your life's vision. Again, this is supposing you have a life's vision. But once you know you do, what's clearly driving you to achieve it? Is it your religious, spiritual beliefs, your children, your family, your desire to prove yourself to yourself, the desire to prove yourself to others, recognition, validation? Like, what is it? You have to figure that out, and then you have to focus on this. This is how we get to the life we don't need a break from. This is how we get to our ideal life, y'all. I want y'all to make it happen. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. The people around you are counting on you to get this information and do something with it. They're counting on you to have the capacity to handle this life that you're trying to create. So now you just got to go do the work, y'all. Never said it would be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Y'all just got to stick along on the journey. All right. Go out there, have a great Wednesday, do something that scares you, pushes you out of your comfort zone. We'll jump right back here on Friday. See you guys then. Take care.